And we are in 14c. So it says that let's reread 14. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle and vegetation for the service of man. And here we are right here. That he may bring forth food from the earth. And so that food from the earth, that sends us to Job 28:5. That says, as for the earth, from it comes bread, but underneath it is turned up as by fire. All right, and so that's where we get our food from the earth. And if it's from anything else, it really isn't healthy for us. 15. And wine that makes glad the heart of man, oil to make his face shine, and bread which strengthens man's heart. And so now it gives us some food items and stuff like that as well, and wine that makes glad the heart of a man. And so that sends us to Judges 9:13. That says, but the vine said to them, should I cease my new wine? Now this is a revelation of Jotham that he's given, and he was talking about different trees and stuff in relations to how, you know, about choosing a king to rule over them. And so instead of them they were asking different types of trees to rule over them, but those trees didn't, because they wanted to remain in their purpose. But yet the bramble tree, a tree worth nothing, said that he'll rule over it, you know, with some stipulations. And so, and that's how Jotham gave that revelation about Abimelech. And so this is one of the things, this is just to corroborate about the wine. So it says, but the vine said to them, should I cease my new wine, which cheers both God and men, and go to sway over trees? All right, and so that just corroborate that wine. And then I know a lot of people say, oh, you see, about the wine. We have to, know too, also that, different things or some symbolism that are used. Because even Jesus, when he was saying that, when he gave for the Last Supper, the wine that was representing his blood, and the bread that represent his body. All right. So, and wine that makes glad the heart of man, oil to make his face shine. Oil was a symbolic of the Holy Spirit. And bread which makes man's heart. And so just right there you have the blood, the Holy Spirit in the body. And bread which makes that strengthens man's heart. 16. The trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he planted, where the birds make their nests. In 17. The stork has her home in the fir trees. And so the stork is one of them long-legged birds. And and a fir tree is like that from a pine tree family. 18. The high hills are for the wild goats. The cliffs are a refuge for the rock badgers or the rock hyraxes. And so that sends us to Leviticus 11:5. Just to, corroborate the rock badgers. That says the rock hyrax or the rock badger, because it chews the cud but does not have cloven hooves, is unclean to you. So that just to say that the rock badger is an unclean animal. Okay, moving into line 19, starting our next stanza. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows it's going down. You make darkness, and it is night, in which all the beasts of the forest creep about. The young lions roar after their prey and seek their food from God. When the sun arises, they gather together and lie down in their dens. Man goes out to his work and to his labor until evening. I'm sorry, I got a little ink stain in my Bible. It's so old. And I thought that was many, but it's man. But anyway, so in 19, so he appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows it's going down. And so that sends us to 19:6. Told you everything has a purpose. Notice the progression of what he's doing. Okay, now he just got finished talking about the animals and stuff like that and the birds. And now he's getting into the moons and everything. 19:6. That says, its rising is from one end of heaven and its circuit to the other end, and there is nothing hidden from its heat. And so that's just talking about the sun. All right, so he appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows it's going down, and clearly it does. So let's pause here. We'll pick it up in 20.